Breaking news has just detonated across the entertainment world. And it is darker, scarier, and more shocking than anything we've ever reported before. Chrissy Lampkin and Jim Jones' newborn baby, yes, the child they only just welcomed, into the world has reportedly gone missing. Gone. Vanished without a trace. Police are already involved, and the details trickling out are so bizarre, so suspicious, that fans are calling this the biggest scandal in hip-hop history. Think about this for a second. 1 minute, Chrissy is proudly posting photos of her baby in her Miami condo. The next, silence. No signs of forced entry, no witnesses, no security footage. The baby simply disappeared as if swallowed by thin air. And while Chrissy is breaking down in tears, screaming for answers at the police station, Jim Jones is nowhere to be found. Stranger still, just hours before the disappearance, Jim dropped a cryptic Instagram post saying, "Sometimes you've got to let go to move forward." Let go of what? His baby. The internet is going insane. Fans are accusing Jim of knowing more than he's saying. Rumors are flying that this isn't just a missing child. This could be a calculated kidnapping. Anonymous sources close to Chrissy say she and Jim were receiving threats in the weeks before this happened. Threats that could mean someone wanted to send a message. This isn't gossip. This isn't speculation. This is a nightmare unfolding in real time. And what's about to surface will make you question everything you thought you knew about Chrissy, Jim, and their so-called family. It began like any other quiet night in Miami, but by dawn the city was buzzing with a rumor so dark, so chilling. It felt like a plot ripped straight from a crime thriller. Chrissy Lampkin and Jim Jones' newborn baby, barely weeks old, was gone, missing, vanished without a trace. The kind of disappearance that doesn't just shake a family, it shakes an entire culture. Because when hip-hop royalty is dragged into a nightmare like this, nothing is off the table: betrayal, secrets, lies, and even the possibility of foul play from within their own circle. According to insiders, Chrissy was last seen late at night, cradling the baby in her Miami condo. Friends had stopped by earlier, cooing over the infant and congratulating her for finally stepping into motherhood after years of heartbreak and uncertainty. Everything seemed perfect, too perfect. But in the early hours of the morning, when Chrissy went to check on the crib, her baby was gone. No broken windows, no forced doors, no alarms triggered. Just silence. The kind of silence that feels planned, calculated. And here's where things immediately turned bizarre. Jim Jones was nowhere to be found. The rapper, who should have been by Chrissy's side, was reportedly out with friends, laughing it up at a Miami lounge. Hours before the baby's disappearance, he even posted something cryptic to Instagram. Sometimes you've got to let go too. Move forward. Let go of what? Fans swarmed the comments demanding answers. Some accused him outright of knowing where the baby went. Others speculated he'd staged the entire situation. Chrissy, meanwhile, spiraled into chaos. Sources close to her say she screamed at police officers when they arrived, insisting she'd seen signs that someone was watching her condo in the days before. A strange car parked outside at night. Anonymous calls were the person on the other end said nothing but breathed into the phone. A black SUV spotted circling the block more than once. And then, the most haunting details, she claimed she'd noticed footage from her building's security cameras missing. Gone. Deleted. It's like someone had access to the system. Who has that kind of access? And why would they use it against Chrissy? When suspicions turned toward Jim himself. Insiders whispered about a massive fight between him and Chrissy just days before the baby's disappearance. He'd allegedly accused her of lying, of keeping secrets, of not telling him the whole truth about the child's paternity. Yes, you heard that right. Paternity. Because weeks before the baby was even born, rumors swirled that Jim had demanded a DNA test behind Chrissy's back. Some said he confided in friends that he didn't believe the baby was his. Others claimed he'd been quietly reaching out to labs, to arrange for a test before putting his name on the birth certificate. And if that wasn't enough to blow your mind, consider this: witnesses reported seeing a black SUV nearly identical to the one Jim owns outside Chrissy's building the night of the disappearance. Coincidence? Maybe. But when police tried to pull security footage of the SUV, it was gone, deleted, erased. And you know what that means? Somebody was working hard to cover their tracks. But here's where the story twists into even darker territory. Anonymous sources claim Chrissy and Jim had been receiving threats in the weeks before the baby disappeared. Letters slid under the door. If you thought the first wave of revelations was shocking, brace yourself, 'cause what unfolded next turned this nightmare into a full-blown circus of betrayal, suspicion, and fear. The police investigation into Chrissy Lampkin and Jim Jones' missing baby didn't just uncover clues. It unleashed a torrent of chaos that no one could have predicted. First came the abandoned SUV, parked just outside Little Haiti, stripped of plates and reeking of desperation. Inside, detectives found scraps of fabric eerily similar to the blanket from the baby's nursery. But that wasn't the only clue. A half-crumpled receipt from a gas station 2 towns over showed a time stamp. Mere minutes after Chrissy claimed she discovered the baby missing. The paper trail suggested the kidnapper was moving fast, switching vehicles and deliberately staying one step ahead of the cops. But here's the kicker: the credit card used to buy that gas, it belonged to someone shockingly close to the Jones family. The name on the card, it's an associate long linked to Jim, someone the rapper had worked with for years, a so-called brother-in-arms. This discovery sent shockwaves through the fan base. Was Jim actually working with this man? Was he orchestrating the disappearance? Or had someone framed him with the ultimate betrayal? And then came the audio leak that changed everything. Late one night, gossip blogs began circulating a clip allegedly recorded from a burner phone. In it, a male voice gravelly angry argued with a second man. "We said, no cops. You think Chrissy's just gonna sit quiet? This wasn't part of the plan." The second voice snapped back. "Shut up, man. The baby's leverage. That's the only way he'll pay." Fans froze, replayed, analyzed. The first voice sounded hauntingly like Jim Jones. The second, some swore it belonged to a man who once appeared on Love and Hip Hop, a shadowy figure from Jim's past. But the scariest part, the phrase "the baby's leverage." That implied this wasn't random. This wasn't some outsider swooping in. This was a plan to use Chrissy and Jim's baby as bargaining power leverage in a deal gone horribly wrong. While the internet spiraled, Chrissy completely broke down. Insiders claimed she collapsed at home after hearing the audio. Friends rushed to her side as she screamed, "They're using my child like a pawn." She reportedly refused to eat, refused to sleep, and had to be escorted by close friends whenever she left the house. Paparazzi caught her in dark sunglasses, visibly shaking, clutching her phone like her life depended on it. Every image of her fed the firestorm, fans crying out in sympathy, critics dissecting every detail, haters questioning whether she knew more than she let on. Meanwhile, Jim's behavior only fueled suspicions. Instead of releasing a heartfelt plea, he remained silent. No Instagram posts begging for his child's return. No press conferences. Nothing. And then when fans thought he had completely gone, he posted one sentence on his story: "Sometimes loyalty costs too much." The internet lost its mind. What was he saying? Was he admitting betrayal? Was he pointing fingers? Or was this a confession dressed up as a riddle? Twitter threads tore him apart. Jim acting like he dropped an album, not a baby, one user wrote. Another fumed. "If Chrissy's baby don't come back, we all know who to blame." Hashtags like #FindBabyJones and #JimKnows began trending worldwide. And then the ransom note dropped. A blurry scan leaked onto blogs, allegedly from a source inside the police department. Written in blocky letters, it read, $5 million. Cash, no cops. You want your baby alive? You'll listen. Instructions coming. The image nearly broke the internet. Fans zoomed in, analyzing the handwriting, the type of paper, even the ink smudges. And the timing couldn't have been worse. Because while police insisted they hadn't authorized any leaks, the public now had a front row seat to the ugliest part of the case. The possibility that this was never about family or custody. It was about money. Pure, cold money. But hold up, because here's where things got truly bizarre. Not everyone believed the ransom note was real. Some claimed it was staged, planted to throw investigators off the real trail. Others suggested it was a fake created by Jim himself to prove the baby was targeted by outsiders. Chrissy's camp, meanwhile, reportedly exploded with fury. She doesn't want money games. She wants her baby back. One insider told bloggers. As the ransom news spread, the celebrities weighed in. 50 Cent jumped on Instagram Live laughing. "Man, Jim better stop playing. You can't make street moves with family involved." Remy Ma posted a cryptic tweet. "Sometimes the snakes are closer than you think." Cardi B, visibly upset, went live too. "Nah, this ain't funny. A baby's missing. It's real life, not entertainment. I hope the truth come out fast." And then came the mother of all bombshells. Police sources leaked that the second SUV abandoned near the highway had traces of DNA inside. Not just random DNA linked to Jim Jones himself. Detectives were reportedly considering all possibilities, but the internet didn't wait for confirmation. Overnight, Jim went from distressed father to primary suspect in the court of public opinion. Chrissy, already shattered, allegedly confronted Jim in a screaming match that neighbors overheard. One witness claimed Chrissy yelled, "You did this. You knew this would happen." Another insisted Jim fired back. "Don't put this on me, Chrissy. You brought this into our home." That clip, though unverified, spread like wildfire. Within hours, hashtag Chrissy vs. Jim was trending alongside #BabyJones. As if this wasn't enough. Another twist hit the blogs. Someone began making anonymous calls to the police, claiming to know exactly where the baby was. According to insiders, the caller's voice was distorted, robotic. But the details they gave were chillingly specific: times, places, descriptions of clothing. Each lead sent police running in circles, only to find nothing. Which begged the question, were these prank calls meant to torture Chrissy further? Or was someone deliberately feeding disinformation to keep the truth buried? Fans became digital detectives, but here's where the story took a darker, jaw-dropping turn. DNA swabs taken from the bassinet didn't just match the missing baby, they matched traces of Jim Jones himself. The revelation hit the news like a bomb. Was Jim secretly hiding the baby here? Or was someone deliberately planting evidence to frame him? As investigators combed through the safe house, they uncovered even more chilling finds: multiple burner phones, crumpled ransom drafts, and a set of surveillance photos showing Chrissy walking with the baby outside her condo. The photos weren't from paparazzi, they were close, grainy, invasive. Whoever was behind this had been watching Chrissy for weeks, documenting her every move. And the most disturbing part, several of those photos had handwritten notes in the margins, notes that read like a script. "Wait until she leaves. Don't touch him yet. Jim will call." When that detail leaked online, Twitter imploded. Jim will call. Fans immediately started speculating that Jim had orchestrated the kidnapping himself. Hashtags like #Jim set her up and #Chrissy deserves better began trending worldwide. The memes were brutal, showing Jim photoshopped as a puppet master pulling strings with Chrissy. In Tears Below, meanwhile, Chrissy Lampkin reached her breaking point. Insiders claim she had a complete meltdown after being told about the safe house evidence. One witness described her pacing frantically, screaming, "I told you he was acting different. I knew it. My baby is caught in his mess." She reportedly hurled her phone across the room, shattering it into pieces. Paparazzi later captured her storming into a police station, flanked by bodyguards, demanding answers while sobbing uncontrollably. Jim Jones, on the other hand, went completely dark. His phone disconnected, his social media wiped clean, his entourage refusing to answer questions. TMZ claimed his team was buying time, while rival blogs suggested he was already on the run. Even worse, leaked police chatter hinted that an arrest warrant was being drafted. But authorities were split. Was Jim the mastermind, or just another pawn caught in a much bigger game? Then came the leak that flipped the case upside down. A mysterious YouTube channel posted what they claimed was a secretly recorded phone call between two men discussing the ransom money. One voice sounded eerily like Jim, muttering, "5 million cash, no banks. We'll handle it." The second voice responded, "What about Chrissy? She's cracking. She talks. This whole plan's done." The video spread like wildfire. Within hours, it racked up millions of views, with fans dissecting every syllable. Some insisted it was clearly Jim's voice. Others argued it was a deepfake designed to destroy him. Either way, the damage was done. Public opinion turned sharply against him, with even longtime supporters questioning his innocence. But the true gut punch came when Chrissy's inner circle leaked a private text exchange. Screenshots allegedly showed Jim messaging someone about taking control of the situation. One chilling line read, "She won't let me go, so I'll make her." Though unverified, the screenshot spread faster than wildfire, with fans demanding Jim's arrest. At the height of this chaos, celebrities jumped into the fray. Yandy Smith posted, "This is beyond messy. A baby is involved. If Jim knows something, he'd better speak now." Erica Mena shared a cryptic IG story, "You can't play with God's blessings. Everything done in the dark comes to light." Even Snoop Dogg chimed in, tweeting, "Man, this ain't it. Protect the babies." And then the most explosive twist yet. Just as police prepared to release an official statement, Chrissy herself went live. Makeup smeared, voice trembling. She told the world, "I can't stay silent anymore. They told me not to speak, but I know the truth. Jim knows where our baby is. He's been lying to all of us." The internet exploded. Comments flew across the screen. "Oh my God, we knew it. Free Chrissy," within minutes. The live was clipped, re-uploaded, and dissected by millions. But before anyone could process Chrissy's shocking accusation, the police made their move. Reports confirmed a late-night raid on another property tied to Jim's associates. And what they allegedly found there stunned everyone, not just signs of the missing baby, but documents, bank transfers, secret contracts, and what appeared to be forged marriage papers linking Jim to none other than Brooke Bailey. The puzzle pieces clicked together in the most horrifying way. Was this kidnapping not just about ransom, but about covering up a fake marriage scandal? Did Jim stage the baby's disappearance to distract the public from his ties to Brooke? Or worse, was Brooke herself involved in the plot, using the baby as leverage against Chrissy? By morning, the headlines screamed betrayal. Jim Jones suspected in baby disappearance. Chrissy Lampkin breaks silence. He knows. Brooke Bailey connection exposed. The world watched, horrified, as the family imploded in front of their eyes. And then came the cliffhanger no one saw coming. Just as reporters camped outside the police station waiting for confirmation of Jim's arrest, a mysterious voicemail leaked. A robotic voice, distorted beyond recognition, whispered, "The baby is safe, but if Jim talks, you'll never see him again." The message spread like wildfire. Is the baby alive, hidden somewhere by powerful hands? Is Jim protecting him? Or was he being silenced? The lines blurred between victim and villain, and suddenly the entire case was up in flames again. By now, fans were in meltdown. Twitter threads speculated about secret safe houses in Cuba. Instagram pages claimed to have inside tips about Brooks's involvement. TikTok detectives pointed out that Chrissy's live had suddenly been deleted, fueling theories she was silenced. And in the middle of it all, Jim Jones remained missing, either a fugitive, a mastermind, or a desperate father being played like a pawn. The safe house, the ransom note, the DNA, the marriage papers. The voicemail, every twist dragged the story deeper into chaos. And as the police doubled down, calling the case active and extremely sensitive, one truth remained. This scandal was far from over. Because if the voicemail was real, it meant baby Jones was alive. But in whose hands? And what would Jim Jones be willing to sacrifice to get him back? The world may have thought it reached the peak of drama, but the final chapter was just beginning. And there you have it. The scandal that has the entire world glued to their screens. Chrissy Lampkin's heartbreaking cries, Jim Jones' silence, Brooke Bailey's shadowy presence, and a baby's fate hanging by the thinnest thread. This isn't just gossip. It's history unfolding in real time. The safe house, the ransom, notes, the DNA, the voicemail, every single twist proves that we are standing in the middle of a storm that's only getting darker by the second. But now, the question becomes, what happens next? Will Jim finally come forward and clear his name? Or will more evidence drag him deeper into the fire? Will Chrissy get her baby back? Or has this turned into something far more sinister than anyone expected? And Brooke Bailey, is she the puppet master behind the curtain or another victim in this twisted game? The truth is, we don't know who's lying, who's protecting, and who's plotting. What we do know is that every second you're not paying attention. This story is exploding with new leaks, new secrets, and new betrayals. So here's what you need to do right now. Hit that like button if you want to see justice for baby Jones. Smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because the next update could drop at any moment. And trust me, you do not want to be the last to know. And most importantly, jump into the comments and tell me what you think.